Do you ever question your own sanity, like your own mental health? I've heard in the past, people talk about going through an awakening and people thinking that they had like a mental illness or something going on with them. And I never quite understood just like the depth, the gigantic impact that can have on your life, like I used to just kind of feel like, as long as I have a grip on my reality, my version of reality, I know I'm not mentally ill. I know I have my sanity. But when you start questioning your version of reality, because it feels so true to you, and yet this programming, these conditionings from our life and from the people around us have us even doubting ourselves. And that's kind of the point of the systems. Operations of power, it's to create that doubt in ourselves. And so I'm feeling it deep right now. Am I actually mentally healthy, or is there something going on with my sanity? I don't take it really in such a super serious way, I guess. It's just, it feels kind of silly and fun to me to entertain, but you have to keep a lightness about the situation. You have to keep a lightness, a little bit of comedy about all of the shit that we are going through as awakening individuals and who are birthing the new Eden. Of course, we're going to seem crazy to other people. But there's a lot of us. When you really come down to it, there's quite a bit of us. I would like to think that we can't all be delusional. Or perhaps we're just, in fact, being delusional and creating a consensus reality, but one that catapults us into a much more beautiful timeline. And in that sense, then, there's nothing wrong with being delusional. It's what they say, to create your reality. You have to be delusional to create your reality, Like, I'm not saying delusional in a negative way. It's just that it's like you have to, if you have the feeling in you that this is something that you have to do, that this is your truth, like down to your deepest core, then it's not really delusion, it's Gnosis. But people aren't going to understand that. It's seen as delusion. By us, it's Gnosis. That wisdom that you can only touch on by living it. It's not anything that you can learn from somebody else. It's not anything that you could read in books or watch something about. You will have to go through it. And you receive this beautiful Gnosis. But reality still hasn't caught up, The external is not yet reflecting the internal, and it's a really hard space to live in. It's a really hard space to live in. It's this bardo It feels like I'm stuck. But at the same time, it's like I know that I'm stuck only by frequencies that are keeping me in here like jail bars. You know what I mean? Like, it's of our own doing. It's a cage of our own doing, our own beliefs, our own lower frequencies that we are working on shaking off. And that's why it hurts so much, because by this point, you have shaken off most of your illusions, the true delusions, right? It's the illusions that are delusions, not our gnosis. And it feels like the last few frequencies within my field are like the strongest ones and are the hardest to move. They're the things that have been going on the longest because they're ancestral. They could be even, beyond our DNA, ancestral in a galactic way, even universal way. So you feel like you're in this prison and you've had this taste of what living in your essence, in your truth, in your power. You've had a taste of it. Maybe even more than a taste. More of it than you've ever had, but can't sustain it. Can't sustain it yet. I'm close, but I can't sustain it yet. I have it feels like 3 illusions, 3 veils, 3 of those frequency prison bars that are keeping me from being able to fully inhabit the new earth. And I'm so ready to do that. I'm so ready for new earth. Fuck this. Fuck this 3D. I'm so over it. It's in its final death throes, and that's why it feels so painful. It's like on its death rattle. The final death rattle of ourselves. Because it has to die within us first for it to then finally die in the 3D. And so we're getting closer to the final death of all that is not self, of what is the illusion. Of course, we're panicking a bit. Feels like the body is panicking. The nervous system does not yet fully feel safe. It feels the safest it has in a very long time, if ever. But there's still something. The nervous system still needs some sort of tonifying, strengthening. It's been so worn down by years of fear. The fear is such a heavy burden for the body to carry, if not the heaviest burden to carry. And when you've been so filled with fear that literally every corner of your life, there was fear to be found there. Oh man, the fucking nervous system is fried. It's so fucking tired. But the last 2-3 years have been all about resting, trying to find that which fully rests us, that replenishes us. We've been tonifying the nervous system to be able to handle full rebirth into the new world. It's beautiful, but does make you question your sanity. Because you start noticing all these ways in which life was trying to talk to you, especially your body. And my body has been neglected for so many years that it had to start screaming in symptoms so that I finally took notice. So I finally dialogued with that. So I finally faced that fear. It's been so much fear, but I've also released a lot. That's what it's all been about. Releasing this fear so it can't weigh down our frequency any longer, so that it cannot weigh down our nervous system. A healthy, strong nervous system is what helps catapult us into the new frequency, finding the true frequency of us and residing in that. Because each of those true frequency, each one is needed to build a new earth, and it has to come from frequency, and each of us hold a key. So it is of utmost importance that we start really examining all of those deepest fears and helping our bodies process it out so that frequency can finally fall off. Because don't you know, honey? New Earth is waiting for you. You're one of the architects, and you're needed. It's time to step up. Let's do this.